Speaking of B-plus tier films, though...
There's no way you think that the 2007 film, aka Nico's pick this week, The Girl Next Door, is a B+. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so The Girl Next Door is the story of a young boy who has a cool cat move in next door, along with their sister, who end up being brutally tortured by their aunt, and she dies. Tanner, want to tell us a fun fact about this film?
Fun fact, the author of the book that this movie is based on cameos as the carnival ticket taker.
Oh, that's fun.
Fun fact, most of this movie was me just mouth agape, pointing at the screen and looking over at Nico, and then looking back at the screen and then looking at Nico again a lot.
Yeah, this is a rough one to watch. This isn't
even the worst version of this story.
I'd really be curious to get set up all of the disturbing films we've watched thus far and rank them on how disturbing we found them, because this one absolutely is up there. Holy shit.
Yeah, fucking Dylan, let's do some preface here because I think it's funny. Dylan was lying to us about having watched this movie previously, and it was right after Nico and I finished it. I had notified the fucking boys that the rest of the movies for the week were uploaded on my Plex, and he said that he had already watched this movie and said it wasn't that bad, and I was so confused what the fuck he was talking about, because he reacts very dramatically to movies like this, and to say it wasn't that bad is just asinine. I could not believe it. The moral of the story is he hadn't watched it, so it doesn't matter. We'll never know his true thoughts unless he says them at the end of this review. But
yeah, I mean, it's based on true events. Cope aside, yes, it's a fucked up movie. Was there any motivation for the aunt beyond oh, she's just fucking crazy?
I think it's she sees this girl who has oh, the whole world in front of her, and the aunt has already made a bunch of terrible mistakes that have put her into the terrible position she is in life, and it's oh, these girls who actually have a lot of potential, they're just strutting about. I need to put an end to that. I don't like seeing what could have been or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. All I got from the movie is that the mom was just incredibly envious of the daughter. She's constantly talking about her sex potential and shit. And I think she just realizes she's some old woman and she kind of fucked up in life, and she just wants to put her down because she is who she wants to be.
Yeah.
Dude, I was constantly thinking, watching this, I'm is the aunt gonna fuck the kids? It feels like she's going to.
Didn't they say that the whole thing that kicked it off is that she tried masturbating one of the girls or something, and she rejected it, and that's what made it escalate?
I don't recall that at all.
I feel like I remember hearing that at the end. That was the first event. It was the sister, I think, had said something about that.
I vaguely recall something along those lines. I don't remember.
I'll go look it up later.
Okay.
We can verify this off the podcast, and you can put a big yes on the screen when I say that or some shit.
All right, yeah, I'll bring up the oft-forgotten fact check box I have.
Yeah, thank you. But, yeah. These types of movies are very hard for me to rank. On one hand, this movie's dog shit because it's really hard to watch, and also it's just not very good. But, the fucking acting in this movie is fucking terrible.
Oh my god, this film fucking lures you in early on, and this is just gonna be some goofy ass film. This shit's dumb, but then it's oh my god.
Yeah, I had no idea what the fuck I was going into. Legitimately, I thought it was relatively benign for the most part until it was they walk into the basement, and I'm it'd be crazy if they had her chained up in the basement, and then they fucking got her tied up in the fucking basement. I was no fucking way. That's the type of movie we're watching right now. Okay, I get it. But let's say in a hypothetical world that this movie actually was well shot. The acting was good, from a production standpoint, this movie's great. But we're watching some fucking teenager get tortured and raped in a basement.
Yeah.
How do you rate a movie like that? It's really fucking hard because I can't conceptualize that, because I want to rank movies. Obviously, this is some pretentious shit, but I want to try to rank movies what I think they're objectively are rated. But also, it's hard because my subjective experience in this and the reason why it was created in the first place draws onto it a lot, and this makes me think that Dylan has the most goated way of ranking movies, and it's just how he enjoys them, and that's 100% of what the ranking is, and I think he's badass for that. And I'm going to that ranking. This movie's an F-.
Well, hang on. I'm sure there's still some more stuff we can talk about before we get to the rankings.
Is there?
Okay, so I have a bit of history with this film, okay?
What?
You
Now.
watched this with your first girlfriend.
No. So...
He was that boy.
No. So... As you guys are aware of, there's a 2004 film called The Girl Next Door. And that one is just like some shitty ass comedy. It's about like some girl getting into porn or some shit like that. And my sisters watched this film when I was growing up, when I was just a wee little lad. And, you know, my mom wouldn't let me actually see anything. She'd be like, no, turn around. I'm like covering up your eyes. You're not allowed to see any of this shit or whatever. And so, in like middle school, that was around the time in which I was just like looking up like random movies or like, you know, music videos that had nudity in them so I could like, you know, get my rocks off to them. And so I remembered The Girl Next Door and I was like, oh, I'm going to see what that was all about. And so I looked it up on YouTube and I found The Girl Next Door full movie. And so I turned that shit on. I was ready to have a gay old time. And I was just horrified by what I saw in this film.
Understandable.
Yeah. I think I went like a week without being able to JO after that. It was just, the thought of this was too much for me. It gave me shame.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't ever see a movie like this. Like, the worst that I saw as a child was fucking Waxwork, and you guys all know that movie. This movie would have traumatized me as a child. Like, I don't think I could even come close to, like, our fucking house's basement, for example. I just, like, get flashbacks of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
They do some horrible things to this poor girl. It's fucking terrible. Like, every time you think they're gonna stop being terrible, they just escalate, and it's very shocking. You know?
It's
I
brutal.
can't believe, too, the fucking kids. The mom lures the kids into doing it too, presumably because they're like giving them a position of power over this girl, and they can like, you know, utilize their fucking sexual fantasies on it. It's so fucked up though, man. Oh my god, what else is there to say about this movie? It's fucked up, and the acting is horrible. Oh my god.
Yeah. I guess Nico talk about the real life shit.
Yeah, so the real life was much worse, actually. Honestly, I don't want to really go into details. Just trust me, it's really bad. She had to endure a lot of terrible bullshit in that house. Like, there are like a few details that are changed because this film was based off of the book that was based off of the real events where he like changes some stuff. Like, you know, that boy in the film like wasn't actually a person. Like, he didn't really try to like get her to escape or anything like that. No, instead she was just like kind of suffering on her own. And yeah, at the end of the day, she just kind of fucking died due to like all of the brutal shit they were doing to her and malnourishing her. So pretty rough all around. Also, they got like, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the people into court to like try and punish them for this. The mom figure, she was actually like not an aunt, she was just like her friend's mom or some shit like that who's taking care of her, and so she got like 15 years for all this shit and then got let out.
It is insane how often women just get off easy for these insane crimes.
It's brutal, dude.
Yeah, she should have been put to fucking death. Oh my god.
Yeah, they tried for it. I forget why they couldn't go through with it, though. There was, like, some dumb reason for it. But yeah, pretty rough.
Fun fact, there is not another version of this movie, that'd be disingenuous to say, but there is, in fact, another movie based on the same story that is supposedly more accurate to what actually happened. It's also a more well-received movie. This movie is kind of mixed, and the other one's kind of like more leaning towards good.
Yeah, and that one came out the same year.
Huh.
Did it come out the same year? That's
yes,
crazy.
it came out the same year.
What's that one called?
An American Story, I think.
It's an American Murder, I think.
Some shit like that. An American subtext.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for who's going to pick that eventually.
Yeah, we'll see. We can compare and contrast the films.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully it's sometime soon so it's fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't intend on picking another disturbing film for a little bit here. I wanted to do the 1-2 hit here, but yeah, this one was a bit much, I think.
Yeah, understandable. I'm fine without it.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no biggie.
Do you have anything else to say?
Does Dylan?
This review is going to be for The Girl Next Door. Yeah, this is just another one of those that, by the way, the story happened in real life movies. Kinda hard to ridicule the plot and all that when it's one of those kinds of movies. The plus, I guess I'll say, for this movie is, unlike Compliance, this movie didn't feel... I don't think I mean this as much as I do, but it just felt... It didn't feel like it didn't need to be made as much as Compliance. I think this movie was better, like, made better. It's just so hard with movies like this. I'm not rating it very much higher than Compliance. I thought Compliance was extremely disturbing. Not that this movie wasn't extremely disturbing. It's just so hard with movies like this, and I think at this point, the only thing that I can say about rating this movie the way I did is I would much rather watch this over Compliance, because I don't know, I felt like this movie had more personality. I feel like the tone it was trying to get to the audience was a little bit better. It's just really, really hard to say. Regardless of what I say about either of these movies, this movie in particular is still extremely fucked. I don't really know what to say outside of that. This movie was okay. I wouldn't watch it again, but I still thought it was better than Compliance. For that reason, I'll just go ahead and give it a D+, I guess.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I guess we'll only know in the future. Dylan's rank, though, was a D+.
Very generous.
I can understand that. I think I'm gonna go F+ personally.
I gave it a flat F personally.
Okay.
I'm putting this on par with I Spit on Your Grave because there was a bit more production that went into that movie at the very least, and it was kind of entertaining from a schlocky perspective. This movie is just hard to watch, and it's not very well produced.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot. It's not like they're fucking their unborn child or some shit, but you know, it's still not a movie I'd ever want to witness again.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I agree. I gave this one an F+ as well.
I'm shocked that Dylan is the highest rated on this movie. I'm curious why he gave it such a high score.
Did you confirm that he watched it?
Yeah, I saw that he watched it on Plex. Again, like I said, I don't know if he actually finished it. I don't know how far away from the end he was. Like, he said that he couldn't finish it for whatever reason, but I don't know why that is, or if he actually ended up finishing it.
Surely if he couldn't finish it, he would not give it a D+, though.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to see the ending. He's like, oh, well, I guess she just keeps getting tortured and then dies. Haha. Anyways, that lands it at a D- overall. God damn it, you fucker, Dylan. You kept it out of F tier.
You know, there's
Hopefully
just some merit to it, I think.
I think we might need to audit that ranking from him.
We just might need to. Let's ask him what happens with the blowtorch, and if he gets it wrong, then we remove his rank.
Based? Make him watch the fucking movie again?
Yeah.